I'm Blade from Hungary. I've been a technical problem, but now I'm here and I want to repair this unit, what I show you before. I want to ask, I want to answer your questions if you have. So I'm waiting for your questions and I will answer it if I know, because my English, it's poor. So I want to start it somehow. Just adjusting the camera. So here I have this one. It's cracked, so I hope I can take it somehow. I used epoxy for the connection, so with heat I think I can remove it. Yes. I have a tablet too, so I don't know how can I show to myself. Okay, probably I will see the chat, so if you have any question, just ask me and I want to try to answer it as I know, as I can. But I don't know how can I use it. This one. So probably you are here 6 people actually. I send you a little heart. And if you write anything, I will see here. So I hope it will work. But I will start this. I have an hour or a bit more, and I try to repair it under this time. Oh yeah, not perfect, but so as you see, 2 cracked tubes on it. I have a regenerator here. It's just a small piece of steel wool. And it was put in the copper cylinder. There was the cold side and here was the hot side. As you see, the color changed, so it means it was the hot side, of course. I think I can just crack it. Oh, it's hard. So 8 people there. If you have any questions about the engines or this unit, just ask me in a comment below, and I will see here is a tablet for this, and I can answer it under the repairing process. But if you have no questions, Hyperwell, I want to repairing this unit. Just don't know how I can show you. This is a self-starting new type engine from my earlier video, but after the boxing is cracked, so I just bring it to home and I want to repair it with my tools what I have. It's not perfect for anything, but I don't know you know it or not, but my warehouse or workshop was closed a few months ago, so actually it's just a solution for me. Just do it something. Oh, my other phone. No, not now. No problem. The English is good. Good for you. For me, it's just I learn it actually. But if you don't know about this unit too much, I want to tell you it has an accordion power piston, and this one is directly connected to the membrane. between these ends, so somewhere in the middle, and that membrane is a displacer membrane or something else. We call it displacer membrane, but in this unit this is an acoustically tuned part, so it's hard to tell mm, hard to ask it's a displacer membrane, but it works like a displacer membrane. So when the power piston moves up, is displacing a lot of air to the cold side, and there is contract and pull back the power piston, or pull back this piston first in the middle and after just this one, because when the pulling effect is started, then more air going through the regenerator and heat up. But this section, in this section, the pressure going up and increasing, so it's a back and forth effect always, and it's a self-resonating unit. It works really well. So I want to repair it because I want to show people how it works in Italy in this weekend. Probably I forget something from the working method, but I will make a drawing and a GIF how it works in my mind. Actually, it's not pretty sure about the working method and the cycle inside, but the plan is I will measure it later. So I cleaned up this hole, this little hole. I take off the left glass particles and the glue, and I hope it will work with this one. Okay. Yes, you don't see, I didn't see, but maybe in one video you can check it. Few months ago I uploaded one about the working units, so you can check the frequency and how easily started with a small heat source, and the possibilities in the future. We can make LTD units from this, because my friend Tipshin made some experiments with more tubes parallel. If you use more than one tube parallel and you made a connection here with 3, 2, 4, something else, numbers of tubes, then you increase the heat exchangers area. If the heat exchangers area enough, then every movement of the displacer piston could move more air across the hot side or cold side, so the pushing and pulling effect will be stronger and stronger. So if the heat exchanger sides are has enough area, then we can use a smaller heat source to start the unit. Probably hot water is enough to start the unit if I use 2 or 3 similar tubes. Or I can change this tube to a wider one, and the connection should be changed, and then I increase the diameter and I put another tube, a closed tube or just a rod inside, and I made a ring around that, and that ring is the heat exchanger. Then we can increase the heat exchanger side too. So we have several solutions to change this unit to LTD one. No problem. Just try to see, right? Check the videos, and if you have any questions, just ask me and I will answer it. But anybody else, if you have questions about this unit that I repair actually, or other units that I made in the past, or just other interesting or questions about the hotter engines, or questions about, I don't know, how I feel myself or something else, just ask me and I will answer it while I repair this part of the unit. So my other tools that I use usually, it's closed to a warehouse, so if you see, not too much. You see I have only this one, probably a few other ones. It's not too much to repair perfectly, but I will try it. I have this one. I can cut some parts. I think I have a problem because I haven't got diamond cutters actually, so today I can't finish this. Maybe tomorrow, I don't know. So I can't show you the inner structure because the tubes and the holes are not well oriented to see the structure inside, but if you believe me, there is a silicone rubber part this is a mass production from, I don't know, probably from the refrigerator. If you want to put some small things without cover, then you can cover it with this silicone part, and that part is a round silicone cap or something, so that I put here in the middle section and connected with this accordion directly. So it's not too hard to make it, and the silicone is pretty good for a long time usage. Yes, I know that trick, but these parts are how you call this? Borosilicate, 1 mm thick borosilicate tube with 18 millimeters diameter. So it's not really cracked that line, on that line what you mentioned, and I tried it before, but I should make some diamond cutting there. I have a tool, but it's only for glass. It's a simple glass cutter, and it's hard to make an exact round circle around this unit, but I will try it later. I have a lot of tools, tons of tools. I think we stored 6 pallets of my tools and parts and everything, so that is not small. This is a big area of my tools in the store. I see you guys. Hello to everybody. I'm Blade. Actually, you don't see me, but I try to. Hi. I have a cell phone to record it, and I have a tablet. Hi Milo B. Hi MC. I see you here. Here is a tablet, and I can check you. What is your question, if you have? And while I repair this unit, I can answer your questions. I think I can answering your questions. If I can, of course. This is not a Stirling actually, MC. It's a new type of unit. Probably it has a Stirling cycle, I don't know, because nobody knows. But this unit a hybrid unit or something, because it has membrane displacer and connected together with the power piston directly, so no phase shift between them. But originally we have a tube loop here, and we have an elastic membrane. The elastic membrane could make a phase shift inside the unit, and probably this phase shift could make something interesting effect inside with the acoustically tuned loop. And these two effects works like a, I don't know, works like a Stirling engine or other hotter engines, but we have a dedicated frequency uh, as any free piston unit has, that came from the tube lengths, the gas volume, the other volumes inside, and the membrane tightness, and the other parameters that we have. If you see, just this part resonate in a low frequency, pretty low. So in this short loop we cannot make any low frequency without a low tuned membrane. So the membrane and the weight on it could change the whole systems resonating frequency. So this is not a Stirling exactly, but we don't know the real cycle inside. Maybe it is, maybe not. But I think you never seen same before. Maybe in my friend's Tipsim channel has some similar units, but not exactly like this. He has hundreds of experiments about the thermoacoustic and hybrid units. We always talking about the results and the what will happening if we do something new or we change something. Yeah, I'm carefully with this part under my hand. I don't want to blood on my. I don't want to see my blood on this table. So I so careful. The whole things what we do with my friends is always came from the size reducing. I don't know how we can how I can translate it to you because but I try it. Uh, if we make a thermoacoustic unit and the thermoacoustic unit has a natural frequency. The natural frequency is pretty simple. It came from the uh, airspeed on the working temperature, or basically came from the ambient temperature when you start the unit. So if you have if you want 100 hertz unit, then you should make a pretty long tube for a same unit like this. But if you change a part of the gas and a part of the tube, actually you can reduce the length of the tube and you got the same frequency. So this is a tricky thing, because with this membrane or other other thermoacoustic unit with membrane, you can change the membrane tightness and the membrane's weight. You can change the frequency that you want. That is, if you want 20 hertz or something else, you can do it with a compact small size. Just you should tune the mass and spring and the elasticity of the membrane in the right way. That is a hard thing. So it's not easy to make it. You can calculate a lot of things basically, but without experiments you are so lucky if it's working in the first time. And the unit will work on that dedicated frequency you want. So it's not so easy. Some calculating programs we used in the past, like delta EC, probably some people know it, I don't know. That is a free uh, program to calculate the basics, but really touchy for the membranes and the big changes. So it's a long process to use it. I always read new research papers. Uh, I've got a lot of papers from the internet, and I search it continuously every day, and I have newsletters from the biggest research labs and etc etc. They automatically send me emails with a lot of interesting uh, engines and ideas and uh, R&D processes, and I read it, and I conclude, make a conclusion, or I don't know how you call it. So I get a conclusion about that it's good or not for me. But my new engines came from uh, after brainstorming with my friend Tipshin. Tipshin is a uh, pretty smart guy. He has a lot of ideas, but those ideas not always going that way that the people thinking basically always try to find something, a new path for his ideas, and try to make them, and I try to help him with my. So I have a lot of ideas too. So when I made something, then I show him, and he told me, okay, it's good or not, or what we can do with the next time. So our new engines came from the brainstormings, basically. But uh, he and me, we are both Hungarians, so for the brainstorming is not so hard because we understand. For us, I understand him and he understand me, so it's no problem. And usually we have some friends in Hungary, and we can talking about the things together. But basically, in thermoacoustic parts of the hotter engines, not too much people researching and developing anything in Hungary, I think, or just in a secretly closed warehouse or somewhere else. I don't know, but no research papers and no any new things. If you see research papers, the research papers usually copies that a lot of copy inside. A few people has enough money, and other people no money, then just try to make a similar unit and just try to measuring something new. But if you made two different units with different heat exchangers and volumes and anything else, then you always uh, make some mistakes, because if you want to I don't know the word for this. If you have two different things, but it looks like same, and you want to know what is the better, then you measure the first one and measure the second one. You've got two totally different results, and these results are not comparable. Just the basics. What was the length, what was the blah blah blah. But if you make two similar units and you change only one parameter, then you can make an optimization process, but that optimization process will through just that unit. If you change anything else, you never can use that optimization for another unit, because every unit is different. Every heat exchangers are different. Every connection tubes and angles and etc etc. So it's too many parameters change when you make thermoacoustic units, and the thermoacoustic units are really sensitive for any changes. So it's a hard topic, and in the past 30 years, 30, yes, in the past 30 years, I think thousands of papers came from research labs and development and people who just interesting about that. But the heat exchanger is one of the biggest challenge there. Another challenge is the regenerator section, and some people like the simple things like the standing wave units, and some people like the traveling wave units. Traveling wave units work similarly than the Stirling units. The cycle inside the units is pretty same as the Stirling cycle. So the effectivity, the COP and the power range is similar, but with no moving parts, or not too much moving parts, no cranks, etc etc. But on the other hand, we have a really sensitive unit. This one is not so sensitive, so I think it's a hybrid. It's a hybrid unit between the normal free piston units and the thermoacoustically tuned units. So it's somewhere between them. I see more people here actually, so if you have questions, just ask me. Don't hesitate to ask me. I try to answer it. That you see, I repair my last unit. It was glued with epoxy, 2 components epoxy. It's hard to take off the glass parts because it was so hard. So the epoxy was pretty high quality, I think. I will talking about in the weekend, in this weekend, 2 days ago, no, 3 days ago, no, 3 days later. So today's Wednesday, yeah, no, Thursday, Friday. So Saturday and Sunday, I will go to an Italian congress or something. It's an underground congress for Italian Stirling builders or just interesting engineers, the engineers who are interested about that. And there will be a lot of 1.5 hours, and maybe in Saturday will be 3 1.5 hours parts about the Stirlings and heat pumps, and few interesting is not information about the cryogenic units that not all people knows. So I think it will be interesting, but we will see. I try to talking about the Achilles heels of the cryogenic units and the Achilles heels of the Stirling units, and what is the similarity and what is the difference between them, because always people talking about the Stirling units are reversible. We can change the direction of the heat if we put some mechanical energy into it. It's true and not a bit. So if you want to make a cryogenic unit, that is not really true, because under 100 kelvins the solid materials parameters are changed a lot, and the regenerators and the heat exchangers are pretty challenging to make well, because the helium change the parameters too, but the solid materials has similar or no change the density. They changed only the thermal properties, and helium changed the density too, and under 12 Kelvin, probably, I remember right, the helium has much higher thermal properties than the solid materials. So pretty hard to use any materials in cryogenic deep coolers enough volume and enough mass to make a well-made cryogenic cooler, because you can't store the energy and can't change the heat between the helium and the solid materials, because the thermal properties are different. It's a much higher thermal hogy hívják azt? So, I don't remember the words, but maybe later. Sorry for that, but I will write it into the under this video, I think. This tube a bit more than 18 millimeters, so I should make it a bit bigger somehow. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me, because I just repaired this unit. I clean up this one. I can't use gloves. Before you ask me why not, because these are too small. It has too small particles, so I should use my hand and these small tools. I hope you see me and the Wi-Fi is working. If you are new here, this is a repairing process of my new type membrane hot air engine. And as you see, it's not easy because I have not enough tools to make it perfectly. But I try it because in this weekend I want to show them Italian people. So a lot of people will be there, and a lot of people will check the Congress videos, I think. And after the Congress I will translate the whole Congress, so that will be available somewhere. I don't know yet. That's not my business. I just will talking about things there. It's so hard. Okay, it's not bad, but not perfect. Don't hesitate to ask me not just about this unit that I repair, actually, anything else. If you have questions about the other units that you see on my site, and actually you have time to write me under this video, just send me a post and I will see here and I can answer it online in live. I have a half hour probably yet online, so if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me. I know you are here, guys. 8 people actually. It's not bad in this topic. I know I'm not a pretty girl with big boobs and blah blah blah, so you can see my panties and other things. So it's a really big thing you are here with me under this process. I really like you guys, and thank you. Okay. I have few glass tubes here. I have a thick wall one and a much thinner, but this one is it's good for heat, and this one is not really, but probably it will be enough to repair the unit. It won't be easy because I have just this one to cut the tubes. It's so hard. It's good, more or less. Oh yeah. As you see, I repaired this one and this one. But actually, I should glue it together, and I should use my regenerator into this part here. One side, the cold side, is the copper one, and the hot side is the glass one. It will be okay, I think. This epoxy glue is not so fast, but pretty strong. It's a Bison epoxy. I don't know you know it or not. I just mix it together. And we will see. I think tomorrow what I made. But if you have questions, I told you guys, just ask me. I repair this unit continuously, but if you have any questions about my work, about my job, about my life, about my engines, anything, just ask me. Can I see here? I don't know how. Oops. High X plans. This is a prototype, so I don't really want to use for anything, but probably it could be generate some electricity if I want. But actually I just want to repair it because it's worked in the past months, maybe four months ago or more. But when I the phone is it should be recharged a bit. I try to put them in somehow. Oh, Jesus. Maybe it's got okay. So I just want to repair this, as you can see this one. I made two tubes with different length, and I changed the cracked tubes. It was cracked because because my workshop was closed a few months ago, and my project job is done or closed, and I don't know how can I say you. So that was finished or something. But that was a pretty cool job. But I have a non-disclosure agreement or something like that. So it's a secret I can't share with you guys, but that was pretty cool. So now I just use the epoxy to glue it around the tubes, and I hope it will be enough for this repairing process to close the holes on it. If I'm right, this unit will be ready tomorrow to run again. If you have time and a bit of money, then you can follow the weekend course from Italy, because I will be traveling there, and I will speak a lot of Stirling things and hot air engine things and cry coolers, the future possibilities, and how we can make low budget or homemade Stirling engines in a much higher power range. That power range is probably 100 to, I'm sorry, it's calling. So it's 100 and 500 watts range. So it's pretty good, I think, with air, not helium. But if you have helium, that's much easier a bit, I think. But if we want to make a unit without too much complexity, then we use air. It's much easier to seal and you can use a lot of things from the pneumatic units or other mass production things. So actually, I think I finished. As you see, the epoxy is in three space, here, here, and here. And this one is the old one. It's pretty good. So if you don't know this unit and don't know about this unit too much, just check the earlier video and the much earlier video where this unit is running well. It has a resonating power piston. It's an accordion piston, it's a power piston, and it has a moving membrane as displacer piston. These two pistons connected directly inside, and this volume and this volume is connected via this tube. Here we have a hot side, and here we have a cold side. Actually, this is a new engine. I don't know you see any other engine like this, but it's worked really well. It's a hybrid unit. It's just for the new people who are interested about that. So I hope it will be cured under a half hour or something, and probably I can share the first running of the repaired unit for you, and I hope I can take this unit to Arba, Italy in this weekend. I hope they will be interesting about this, because okay, this is a prototype and this is a desktop unit and not for real power generation, but the power generation is not impossible with this in a bigger version. The power source, do you mean the power source X-plans? Yes, it could. It could. As if you see this, this part of the cold side, and this is one the hot side, but it's possible to design with a tube-in-tube version. Sorry, but I should turn it because the epoxy just flowing down somehow. I should hold it a bit. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so the power source could be solar or just a rocket stove or something if you like that, but this one is just for demonstration. And in this video I talking I talked about the possibilities to turn this unit to LTD. LTD is a low temperature difference unit. The LTD could be made with more tubes parallel. If you use a connection here and here, and you put more parallel tubes with heat exchangers, you can increase the power level, and you can increase you can decrease the onset temperature because of the area of the heat exchangers. And this is the key to make any engines to LTD. If you can increase the heat exchangers area, then you can use any lower heat source, lower energy heat source. But you know, if you change the temperature and the temperature range, then the efficiency going down. But that will be the other key of my speech in this weekend in Italy. If we have a goal, a perfectly clear goal, what we want to do with the unit that we can make at homemade parts, with homemade parts and mass produced parts, and we have an imagination about what power level is enough to solve our problems, or we just want to an emergency power, then we can make and we can design much lower price units for us. So it's not an impossible thing to make hundreds or 300 or 500 watts units, but you should understand for this level of units, you should make bigger and bigger units if you want uh, an ambient pressure unit. If you can make a 5 bar or 10 bar airfield unit, then the engine will be smaller, more compact, not so big, and the power level will be same. So the only challenge is the heat exchanger. The heat exchanger is one of the biggest pain in the arse. Sorry for that, but that's the truth. If you can solve this problem, so the heat exchanger is good, and you can make high surface heat exchangers for both sides, then your unit will be much powerful than the other units you see anywhere. The heat exchanger is one of the biggest key of the Stirling engines and hotter engines and thermoacoustics and etc etc, where we want to put uh, any heat, and we want to take any heat, we should use better and better heat exchangers. The heat exchangers, the key, the heart of these units. If the heat exchanger is not good, as the model engines, if you see a model engines, the model engines are just working. The model engines good to show what's the possibilities of the design, how we can make a small desktop unit with a spirit burner, blah blah blah. It's pretty cool. A small amount of gas working inside, so the speed will be pretty high, but the power, it's not really good. And if you start to see deeply those units, then you will see the heat exchangers usually looks like nothing. Just a cylinder, just a wall or thin wall, something. And those heat exchangers are pretty low quality. So the low quality heat exchangers never make uh, high quality power, high level power. So these are just for fun, but a lot of model things could work well, and the design is pretty cool, and a lot of people like that to see how it works, and it's shiny and nice and nicely designed, probably CNC machined and glass, and sparkly colors on it and blah blah blah. So it's good, but I'm on the other side. I know this unit is it hasn't got good heat exchangers too. So I'm talking about opposite for myself a bit now. But when we talking about the usable things with my friends, and we start to make something useful from scraps or other hacked engines, then we use a lot of uh, new things to make the heat exchangers better. And the biggest things what we can show you in this weekend via the link is a Telegram link. You can see that, you can check it on my community section. I shared the link. It's 20 euros, probably 20 euros to get an access for the weekend seminar. This seminar will be in Italy, and my old friend uh, Arpad Pal and me will be the speakers on this seminar. I will speak about the deep coolers or any others, Hi Ade. I have no course or video class how to build the any Stirling engines, but I have tutorial videos. But those engines are just for interesting, or I don't know. These engines are uh, simple simple to make from uh, tubes, and like you see here, and this one is pretty simple, but it's a different like the other Stirling engines or Hutter engines. It's pretty different. But the others, if you check my videos, I have, I don't know, probably more than 300, and there is a lot of tutorial for Stirling engines. You can check them and follow the path, the steps, and you can take your working Stirling unit. So uh, the answer in short is yes and no. But these units are not for power generation. These units are just to open your mind and open the other people's mind. What's the possibilities of the Hutter engines? Hutter engines is pretty simple units, but the background is not that simple that looks like the unit. So I think uh, in a school or the high school and the other places where we can learn about this, it's not enough to generate a lot of smart people turn to uh, Stirling expert or Hutter engine experts. But if we show people how you can build your own Stirling engines, how you can build your own Hutter engines easily, homemade, without any hard tools or mills, blah blah blah, just with few little parts and a beer can and steel wool and balloons or something, then I think people start to thinking about the Stirling uh, more deeply and deeply, and probably it will be interesting for them to follow this path and learn more about the engines. And later, when they will be smart enough, not smart enough, just they have a lot of skills and understand deeply the cycles and the heat exchangers and how the flow moves back and forth inside the unit, and what is the biggest thing we should make well inside this unit, then they will be ready to make uh, powerful units in the future, I think. So I don't know Ade Oduye. Ade Oduye. It's a nice name. So if you want to build your own homemade and easy to build engine, just search it in my channel, and you will find that. But if you want to build your own big unit without any experience, earlier experience, that will be hard. And I have no that course where you can find the perfect generator or something. I'm sorry guys, just the epoxy want to flow down a bit. It was too much, but it's good. So I think it's ready. I should hold it together. Oh yeah, here we are. I'm sorry guys, but actually my girlfriend waiting for me. So I should go. It was my second stream where I just repaired this unit, and I hope it will be cured in a short time, probably an hour or half hour, and I will show you the results. The repaired unit will be going probably 20 hours later. So see you next time guys. Thanks to your attention. I'm Blade from Hungary, and I really enjoyed this little talking, or I don't know, little speech to you. Thanks to your asking things and asked things. Oh, I can't speak. So see you later next time. Bye bye.